Hello, I just wanted to remind everybody about health and something I've been teaching for a very long time. I learned it a long time ago. No matter where you are in your health walk, if you're eating an all raw diet, if you just have a lot of fruits and vegetables in your diet, even if you're eating a diet that's not vegan or not supposedly healthy, maybe you're eating a standard American diet, I want to let people know about the formula for health. The formula for health is something I learned about a long time ago by a fellow named Arnold Ehret, and it's power minus obstruction equals vitality. Power minus obstruction equals vitality. And what that means is your body has a certain amount of power or energy, however you want to call it, to get rid of and heal itself every single time something goes wrong. The body is a self-healing organism that it was designed to regenerate itself every time we put something in it that shouldn't be there or do something that we shouldn't be doing. But what happens is when we create more obstruction than we have power to get rid of it, we begin to suffer from the beginning signs of disease. And if we don't have enough energy to push out or get rid of those toxins, we run into a problem. A good example of this is a cold. So think about the average cold that people get. Now there's three ways or three things that are going to create a cold. Basically, let's think about disease for a second. Disease is either a detoxification or deficiency. One or the other, a detoxification or deficiency. The problem is the symptoms are the same. So you got to know which one it is to know how to treat it, because deficiency, you got to make sure you're getting the nutrients you need. Where a detoxification means your body has too much in it and is trying to push those toxins out. So if you treat a deficiency like a detoxification, you're going to be doing the opposite thing. It's going to create a problem. So you really have to come to understand and know the difference of not the symptoms you're feeling, but why you're feeling them. And when we think about the symptoms of a cold and the formula for health, now there's two really ways to catch a cold or get these symptoms, or three. There's the deficiency, there's the overdoing it. The detox means you're doing too much. So a deficiency means you're doing too little. A detox means you're doing too much and your body's trying to cleanse. And then there's a third way, which is a virus you can catch. Now, I know a lot of you might not believe in viruses or might not think they're true, but they are real. And depending how healthy you are will determine how great your immune system is or not. That self-healing mechanism to not only heal ourselves, but also to keep ourselves healthy in these times. So the three things we want to avoid is getting ourselves into a deficiency, which is very difficult to do in today's world. Because we're eating so much, we have so much available to us, but we also have blood tests, and the blood tests can reveal to us if we're not getting enough of something. If we're not getting enough of something, what we got to do is we got to get enough of that nutrient. And for a temporary time, maybe as a short-term answer to a long-term problem, we could take supplements until we figure out what we're missing. Now, I prefer supplements from a food in a supplement form, if anything, if we need that. But if we're eating the right diet, we shouldn't even need that. But because of certain times, people might suffer from deficiencies, but we should catch that very quickly if we're looking at our blood work on a regular basis and monitoring symptoms. The other thing is the detox, and that means we're overdoing something, and a fast is what's going to heal us. Slowing down, stopping to eat is what's going to heal us. Now, this should happen naturally every night when we don't eat, from the time we go to sleep to the time we get up every morning, and the body should naturally heal itself like it's supposed to. But people aren't giving it time to do that. People are eating way late. They're getting up early. Some people eat in the middle of the night. They're not giving their body a chance to do the job it was meant to do. And when you interfere with the body's job, it can no longer do what it was meant to do. And the body was meant to self-heal itself. But how could it self-heal if we're not giving it what it needs to heal? So we got to slow down. They do a fast, whether that's a juice diet or a water diet or nothing, for quite a while. You know, at least from the time you go to sleep to the time you get up in the morning, at least 8 hours a day we shouldn't be eating. But these days, that's not happening. And then, of course, you know, if our immune system's low, it makes us more susceptible to pick up and catch a disease or something like this, a virus or something, not a disease, but a virus. And when it comes to that, you could take doctors will give you antibiotics. In some cases, that might be necessary if it's bad enough. But I tend to lean towards the side of probiotics to help rebuild the healthy intestinal flora, so that'll keep us healthy as well. You don't want to have an out of balance there. But the formula for health, power minus obstruction equals vitality. You can't get rid of what the problem is until you get rid of the cause of the problem. And modern medicine today and people today, because they're following modern medicine, will well, let's just get rid of the symptoms. Let's just deal with the symptoms. But we got to deal with the cause to completely not have problems in the future with that. But to deal with the cause, you have to know what is going on and why you have this issue. So that's why you got to determine where it came from in these three areas. Did it come from that you're doing too much and you need to do a detoxification? Did it come from you're not doing enough and you're creating a deficiency or something? Or did it come from a standpoint where you caught something, a virus or something? So these are the three areas to consider and think about. And there's a good amount enough testing out there today. I recommend doctors' medical office for their diagnosis, but not for their answer of how to deal with it all the time. I think there's enough information for us to deal with all of these three things in a natural, healthy way. But if we do have to go to medical intervention, and sometimes it is necessary and helpful, we just want to make sure we're treating the right thing and not treating something that is opposite than what we truly have. Because that's what's going to lead to more problems, and that's what often happens. So it's not that complicated. Now, from a diet standpoint, the ideal foods to help us if we're overeating and we need a detox would be a raw food diet. As for the deficiency standpoint, we need foods with those nutrients we're not getting enough of, we're deficient in. And pretty much that can be accomplished on any diet, but you want to reduce the waste amount or the leftover amount when you eat something you're getting. So if you're deficient in a certain nutrient and you get it, you want to make sure there's not like a lot of waste left over from that. And then from a virus standpoint, you want to eat the foods that have the most nutrients as possible. So basically, the ideal foods for your body are the foods that have the most nutrients with the least amount of waste left over. And that would be raw, ripe, fresh, organic fruits, vegetables, nuts, and seeds. That's it. Now, you also want to consider if you eat fermented food, you want to get the healthy intestinal flora in the right place. So you want to eat foods with probiotics. And then also you want to make sure you're eating living foods. Living foods is like sprouts and microgreens and things like this. Very important. And from a nutrient standpoint, one of the most important nutrients that most people don't eat enough of is sea vegetables. So those three things, sprouts, microgreens, and sea vegetables, will help people with those three problems. Well, fermented foods also. So those four things, sprouts, microgreens, sea vegetables, and fermented foods will help with the deficiency, with the overabundance of food through a detox, and with viruses. All right. And if you do have to take a supplement, there are some supplements or whole foods in a supplement form, like the astaxanthin that I recommend. It's a liquid algae in a bottle in a supplement form that's absolutely the world's best inflammatory. But again, you're dealing with the response or with the pain or something when you do that, as opposed to get rid of the cause to begin with. But that's a great temporary solution to a long-term problem. So I definitely recommend doing whatever you have to get your body in a state where it's doing what it was designed to do and heal itself. All right, everybody, put your comments or questions below, subscribe, and have a great day.
Nature's wealth, good for your health. This is the Raw Life Health Show.